Live and local from Fox 7, this is Good Day Austin.
6 o'clock on your Friday morning. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're getting up at the weekend. The work weekends, the heat continues, Zach.
1 week down, 3 more weeks to go before we get out of the hottest month of the year.
Yeah.
And then it's still kind of hot in
and
September.
And then we get one of the other really hot months of the year.
You know, you're trying to trick your mind like, okay, September
well, no,
gets
that's
here.
Exciting time.
It doesn't, turn the cool switch on just like that, but we have something to look forward to. Yeah. At least we kept it below 100 all week long. We'll try to do that again today. It took all night, but finally back into the 70s this morning. It'll continue to cool off the next few hours before sunrise. Heat indices in the low 80s. We have enough moisture in place to support rain. We just don't have anything to ignite it. And high pressure is still pushing down on us. Some sea breeze showers already showing up well to our southeast. They're going to run out of gas before reaching us. Wall-to-wall sunshine, 93 at lunch, and then a high of 100 this week. High pressure has made a home right here in Texas. Will it release its grip on us anytime soon to change things up in that 7-day? We'll check it out in just a few moments.
Zach, thanks. Let's head out to Randy Taylor, who's checking on the roads on this Friday morning. Hey, Randy.
Hey there, Dave, and good morning to you at home. It's going to be a pretty easy start to your morning commute. You can see 35 at Stasny. We do have a few headlights and brake lights out there, but still no major rush hour delays just yet, and no incidents working right now either, so you are going to have plenty of room to move on those main lanes. Now, if you are about to head out and travel southbound on 35, as you can see, lots of green on the map, so from the toll road to Riverside, you're looking at just over a 15-minute commute. I'm Randy Taylor, Fox 7 Traffic.
This morning, the community continues to remember those killed in that hot air balloon crash last Saturday near Lockhart. A week later, the official cause of the crash is still under investigation.
This as family and friends gather to pay tribute to those who lost their lives in the fiery crash in a memorial service. Xponetto is live in the studio with the details. Nick.
Well, the memorial is scheduled for 7:30 tomorrow morning. A moment of silence will happen at the exact time of the hot air balloon crash, killing all 16 people on board. Now, investigators say there's evidence the balloon came into contact with high voltage power lines, then exploded after the basket hit the ground near Lockhart. Caldwell County officials say they've been working with a pathologist to identify all of the victims. So far, 7 of the 16 victims have been positively ID'd. The victims include balloon pilot Alfred Skip Nichols, Laura Douglas, Matthew Rowan, Rockland Joseph Owens, Lori Lee Babson, Paige Babson, and Harvey Scott Douglas. Now, dental records are being used to identify the other 9 victims.
It's been extremely hard. Never seeing something on this scale. I mean, it's affected all of us locally. There's emotions. They come and they go. Constantly praying for families, constantly praying for our teams that we're out there. I mean, this isn't something you wake up on a Saturday morning and expect this is how your day's going to go.
Now, the memorial starts at 7:30 tomorrow morning on the east lawn of the Caldwell County Courthouse. And then again at 7:42, the time of the accident, everyone will pause for a moment of silence. This is a public memorial and anyone can attend. Live in the studio this morning, Nick Xponetto, Fox 7 News.
The suspect in last weekend's deadly shooting on 6th Street will soon be brought back to Texas. 24-year-old Endicott McCrae waived his extradition hearing yesterday morning. Police in Georgia say Texas authorities now have 15 days to bring him back to Austin. Authorities believe that early Sunday morning, McCrae pulled out a pistol after an argument with his brother-in-law. He first shot at the ground and then fired into a crowd, hitting 5 people. One bullet hit 30-year-old Tanika Moultrie in the head and killed her. Austin police say McCrae will face a murder charge here in Travis County.
An online petition is asking the city of Austin to ban horse-drawn carriages downtown. So far, close to 20,000 people have signed it. If 20,000 qualified Austin voters sign on, City Hall will have to call an election on the issue. Fox 7's Jennifer Kendall has that story.
When Cara Fain started driving horse-drawn carriages 5 years ago, she was already familiar with the majestic animals.
They're going to have their good days and their bad days. If he doesn't feel good, he goes home. I can't run a business on an animal that doesn't perform his best.
Fain says it makes her happy that so many people are concerned about horses, but feels that thousands petitioning for horse-drawn carriages to be removed from Austin's downtown area are somewhat misinformed.
They're not overworked. They're not hot. It's nighttime. Do they have water? We have access to water.
In the petition, a point is made that the horses are working in soaring temperatures. But drivers at Austin Carriage say they don't offer rides downtown in the summer until after 8 p.m. That way the horses don't have to work in the heat of the day.
If you run a business with animals, you want them to perform at their best, and they're not going to do that if they're boiling hot and sweaty and just it's too hot.
Animal rights author James McWilliams says he has not signed the petition, but he is apprehensive about the need for horse-drawn carriages downtown.
The major concern is that horses that work in that industry really have very few opportunities to engage in their natural behaviors. And there are also the problems of their working conditions.
Fain says these draft horses were bred to pull heavy cargo, much heavier than the carriages she uses. And every consideration is given to make sure they are not uncomfortable, including foot protection.
It's a platform, so your horse's foot is on top of this. You've got all this space between their foot and the ground, so they're not going to touch it.
Another fear of petitioners? Road congestion where the carriages operate.
My feeling is simply that this is just not an activity that we really need in Austin, given the welfare concerns and also given the fact that it just intensifies our traffic problems.
Well, for the people who are concerned about traffic, we don't, first of all, go on heavily congested areas. Traffic is going to be slowed downtown no matter what because you're in a city.
A city with thousands hoping horse-drawn carriages become a thing of the past.
Fox 7's Jennifer Kendall reporting. The Austin Transportation Department has several requirements for horse-drawn carriage drivers. City code mandates that their horses and the housing be well maintained. Horses have to have horseshoes, be given rest periods, and work fewer hours when the temperatures get above 90 degrees. By the way, we did reach out to the person who started this petition, but they didn't get to us by news time yesterday.
Austin police are one step closer to getting body cameras, but it could still be a while. Yesterday, council approved accepting $750,000 in grant funds from the state to offset the cost of buying about $12 to $17 million worth of body camera equipment. As Fox 7 reported last month, the Austin City Council approved a contract for the body cameras. It's with a company called Taser International. A Travis County District Court judge put that deal on hold, though, because a competing company called Utility Associates filed a lawsuit alleging that they did not get a fair chance during the bidding process. Fatima Mann, the co-founder of the Austin Justice Coalition, made sure that council knew the policy surrounding the body cameras is very important.
Our biggest thing is, what's the point of having cameras if no one is going to be able to see what the cameras catch? And that's not in writing, right? So everyone is saying that we should trust APD, we should trust the system to tell us when and how, but no one is saying put it in writing.
This policy is not concrete. When we find things that we feel aren't working or we feel that we can improve on, we're going to do that.
APD says when the litigation with Taser International and Utility Associates is done, then they can move forward with actually working on getting those body cameras.
A group of students taking their complaints about the University of Texas campus carry policy to the Attorney General. The group Students for Concealed Carry says the university is overreaching by allowing professors to prohibit guns in their offices. This comes as 3 professors are fighting to make their classrooms gun-free zones as well. They say they're concerned that guns in the classroom will violate their freedom of speech because they could make controversial conversations effectively off limits in the classroom. The judge hearing that lawsuit says it could take weeks to come to a ruling. Well, coming up, George Zimmerman says he was punched in the face after a confrontation in a bar.
But some aren't buying his story. We have the 911 call he made next.